Yeah, I got stabbed in my chest and in my stomach. The knife tore my intestines up, messed my lung up. My lung totally collapsed, filled up with blood. They had to cut me open and 90 staples up my stomach. I was in a medical induced coma, so I was out about 3 or 4 days. I was in intensive care, life support. And, I had a conversation with God laying on my deathbed. My own mama would tell you, she didn't think I was going to make it. And a lot of my family and friends, that they see me, they didn't think I was going to make it. Let me show you the scars. Like here, here, here. Then they had to cut me open to do the surgery. But it was March 4th, 2012. DJ Lightning Rod, DJ J Rock, and DJ One Time do their birthday bash every year around March. And them three played a major part of helping me go further in my career, at least in the Toledo, Northwest Ohio area. And plus, all three of them are good friends of mine. So whatever they ask me to do, I'm gonna do it. But it was it was outside of Toledo that year, and so they had a party bus going. So me and Mike Wheatley, we went. It was just us two. So we took the party bus and rode it outside of Toledo. And they always say, words are powerful. I know words are powerful. Back then, I really didn't understand the power of words. And so one of the arguments on the party bus was like, would you rather get shot or stabbed? And I was like, I'd rather get stabbed. And an hour later, I was coughing up my own blood and getting stabbed. But it all started, I ignored my gut feeling, that spirit, that inner spirit talking to you. But I was having a time of my life up to then. A lot of people ain't had seen me because I was out of town for a minute. I was in Atlanta and I had came back, just playing all my music. And I'll never forget DJ Lightning Rod said, man, get in the VIP, bro. You ain't normal. But I'm out there dancing with every girl. I'm taking pictures. I'm having a time of my life. And meanwhile, it was dudes on the dance floor, probably about 14 of them. They was just on bullshit. They throwing gang signs, they elbowing everybody. And so it was a casual dress event, and so it was a player event. But these dudes wasn't dressed, they had pellies on, like they just on some bullshit, bro. And I just knew it. And so everybody who went to the event to kick it, they just moved off the dance floor, let them niggas have it. And so my gut feeling, God speaking to me, was like, get off the dance floor. And then me in my mind, like, man, ain't nobody punking me. And so I'm still dancing with this real big girl. And then these girls like, Prophet, I don't appreciate you dancing and taking a picture with my girlfriend. And I'm like, man, what is you talking about? And I felt it was disrespectful because she said in the tone, and I gotta go like, what is you talking about? And then all the dudes who was wilding on the dance floor, their attention just turned to us. And so they're a problem. And so I'm by myself. Everybody else is off the floor. It's just me and them. And so nobody really can't tell what's going on. And so I'm looking around. I ain't see nobody I knew. Because nobody from the neighborhood really was there, And so I see two people from the neighborhood, and so I'm like, I'm about to go let them know. Like, it's about to something. I don't know what I was thinking. Because I turned my back on the dude, hit me, boom. But it was so weak, I could have just let it go. It felt like a Nerf ball. He was like, boop. And I turned around, I was like, man, if I punch dude back, this went through my head fast. If I punch dude back, I gotta fight 13 people. Should I just walk away and just eat it? Nah, bow, 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 bow. Dropped him, cleared him. Now they running up. I'm master club fighting. I've been fighting in clubs forever since the drop zone as a teenager, And so, I had this strategy when I fight in the club. Only thing you throw is just one hand and you stay on the tag. Boom, boom. I learned that. And so I'm really dropping these dudes. And so now the girl I'm dancing with, that hurt my feelings. I'm dancing with this girl. She'd have hit me with a bottle. I'm like, I'm fighting everybody. And my whole thing is don't hit the ground. Don't hit the ground. But I'm clearing them. And like they scared to run up, and then one hit me, boom. I turn to him and I chase him down, one hit me, boom. And then finally, the big girl that I was dancing with, I turn around and she hit me in my nose, boom. That was the only punch that I really felt. Man, I was in a daze. Then Mike Wheatley came out the blue, bop, bop, punched her. I never hit a woman in my life But she was getting her energy back. And I seen her eyes, she about to swing again. I cleared her ass. Dropped her. That was the first time I have ever, well, that's the only time I ever had hit a woman in my entire life. And but I dropped her big ass. And so now it's kind of clearing out. And I see one of the light skinned dudes who was the main one throwing up gangs. So I'm like you want to bow, clearing. And so now I'm just tripping now. I'm spazzing out, cause I you one of them? Bow. Now I'm punching the wrong people. One of my childhood heroes, Little Ed for the Joint Mob. I just seen the Pelly. I told y'all the dudes had Pelly. I see Little Ed. I didn't know it was Little Ed. I just seen the Pelly. You one of them? I done hit Little Ed. Little Ed like, nigga, I'm helping you. Nigga, he was like, but he kind of seen what was going on, and he, you know what I'm saying, he ain't, you know what I'm saying, he kind of gave me a pass because he could have punched me back. And if Lil Ed would have punched me out, it's just my bad, Ed. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. But I'm just spazzing. I'm like, you one of them? And so I went in a whole different mode. I was in war mode, right? So the police come in. I remember DJ Lightning grabbed me like, calm down, Prophet, it's me. I'm like, man, I'm killing I'm tripping. So the police come out like, we got to get you out of here. The only thing they didn't see them punch me. They just see me clearing everybody out. So they about to put me in handcuffs. And they like, where was all this blood coming from? I had a black Dickie outfit on. I'm like, nah, man, this girl hit me in my nose, because that's the only punch I felt. You know what I'm saying? My nose was kind of hurting. And I'm thinking I got hit with bottles. I got hit so much, so I'm thinking my face looking like a pumpkin. They're like, nah, man, you ain't got no bloody nose or nothing. But my whole shirt leaking blood is dripping off the Dickies. And so I open it up, and this one right here, I can't remember. One of these holes was just blood shooting out. Everybody like, oh my God, he stabbed. I'm like, I ain't feel it though. I ain't even feel it. So I'm thinking, because I had slipped one time and I was getting hit with bottles and shit, I think I cut myself on the bottle. That's what I'm thinking. I ain't realized that I'm stabbed. You know what I'm saying? And so they like, he got to go to the hospital. I'm like, man, I can't go no hospital. I rode a party bus down here. I still ain't realize how severe. And so everybody like, you okay, Prophet? You know what I'm saying? And so, it's going chaos. So the police about the mace. I'm like, I'm just tripping. I'm like, I don't care about no mace. I'm just wild. My mind was just totally, that thing clicked. It just had me there. And so I'm like, man, I'm not going to no hospital. Man, I ain't from here, man. I just got to ride the party bus back home. And so I still ain't realized how bad it was. So anyway, I get in the ambulance. They drive me to the hospital, nearest hospital, right? Now I'm realizing, like, man, blood just won't stop. It's bleeding so much that the blood is leaking off the hospital bed, out the doors and shit. They keep cleaning it up and then stop and then patch it up. And then it just start back bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. They don't know what to do. And so they're like, I don't know how to stop the blood, right? Now, another dude got stabbed named Vic Gaston. I didn't know that other people was helping too. Like, you know what I'm saying? His cousin, who I grew up with, I went to elementary with, Leonard Gaston. I think he was working security because he's kin to DJ Lightning Rod. And, you know, I think he ended up like seeing the dude stab me and cleared, and I don't know. They end up fighting too. And the dude ended up stabbing Vic Gaston in the back. And Vic like, he's screaming and shit. And my shit really don't hurt. And I think this saved my life because I had a toothache the week before that. The toothache was so bad. It was the worst toothache I ever had in my life. And I let that cavity stay so long that it got infected. And they couldn't even numb and shit wouldn't even work, bro. They had to pull my tooth out. And it just felt like, man, the best feeling in the world when they pulled that tooth out with nothing. And so that toothache hurted worse than any pain I ever had. And so I'm just thinking in my head, like, man, I've been stabbed. And this shit ain't nothing like that toothache. I'm laughing and stuff. And so I'm feeling guilty. Like, I'm asking the doctor, I'm like, hey, is he going to be okay? She's like, yeah, he's okay. He got minor wounds. You are the problem. We don't know if this knife punctured your organ or nothing, and we can't stop the bleeding. And so she walk out the room, and I hear the other person like, if we don't get Watson out of here, he going to bleed out. He's going to die. And so I'm like, damn, I'm going to die? And so now it's getting a little more serious. So I call Dante. I'm like, D-Maze, I just got stabbed. You know what I'm saying? They said I'm about to bleed to death. I'm talking though like this. I done took a picture of this shit, and that's the picture y'all see. And like, but they kept cleaning up, and so you really can't tell how much blood it was because they had cleaned it up and then they had stopped, they had patch it, and then like a minute later that bitch would get bloody and just like they had to keep changing it. And so then I called E, and they still don't think nothing fucked up, and then it's like it's not looking good for you. We thinking you're gonna bleed out if we don't take you somewhere else who can treat you right now. Do you want to go to Toledo Hospital or Ann Arbor? They both the same distance on a helicopter, but we got to get you out here. I said, I'm from Toledo, so can y'all take me to Toledo? And I tell E, like, yeah, they about to put me on a helicopter. But that life flight, he like, what? Is that bad? He had no idea. I'm talking to him like this and shit. You know what I'm saying? He tell me that to this day, like, man, I'm talking to you normal. You tell me a life flight. I'm like, oh shit, let me go get your mama and shit. We gotta drive out there. You know what I'm saying? And so I still ain't think it's that bad. They put me on a life flight, and I never felt it take off. I just heard we there. And then I remember waking up. It was 4 days later. And I had this tube in my shit, like in my throat. I can't talk. And I see my mama there with tears in her eye. And when I open my eyes, it's like, he's awake. Everybody like, he's awake. The doctor, my mama, I seen her like, her eyes got big as fuck. And now they was like, it's still a good chance. It's not looking good because his lung keep filling up with blood. He getting fluid. I don't even know how the fuck fluid getting on my heart. My bowels then got cut, and so it's shit floating all over my body. I was just fucked up. My spleen got damaged. I don't know where my spleen at. Don't tell me how spleen got. And then I looked down like, what the fuck? It's 90 staples up my whole stomach. Like, what the fuck? And so you know, and I had this prayer. I'm like, God, if it's my time to go, this is how crazy I was. Like, if it's my time to go, I can go. I can lead this world in peace. And that's why I got that song, Lead This World in Peace. Because I'm thinking like, I done did enough. Shit, I'm 30. Nigga, I can die. I lived a whole life. And at that moment, God responded back like, you ain't about to die. You haven't even started what I put you on earth to do, right? Now, time going by, I hear some like my shit, like I don't know if it's my heart because all the fluid or my lungs totally collapsed. And I get them out of here, like they got like, and so it got bad. I blacked out again. I had a real conversation with God, and it was a spiritual fight. Like I can't explain it. Like I was holding on to my spirit. Like it's a fight, like trying to keep my spirit. Like I didn't want to ease up because I knew my spirit was gonna leave my body and I was gonna die. And so like I'm fighting. Like, okay, this is crazy. Like it's a spiritual fight. Like, and after a while, I knew I wasn't gonna die, and that's when I had nothing left. It was just the worst. I had nothing left, and so I'm in here like now days going by. It's just the worst. I couldn't eat because my intestines got fucked up, and so they finally took the shit out of my throat, and you know, they put this thing up my nose to drain my stomach. I don't know, it was just bad, but I had to blow in this thing to hit numbers and to strengthen my lung up. And I wasn't taking it serious. I was like, give me more pain medication, because I was in pain. I was miserable. I was going through post-traumatic stress, everything. Every time I closed my eyes, I had a vision of somebody come behind me with a butcher knife stabbing me like 100 times. And I was scared to go to sleep. It was just bad, bro. And somebody was like, well, they saying you touched the girl butt and dude stole on you and you hit him back and they start stabbing you. And I was like, oh no, I gotta live. I can't die like this. Y'all done spread a lie. I mean, I ain't touched no girl butt, no shit like that. You know, anybody know I don't go smack no girl butt, no shit like that. But that's what happened the day I got stabbed. I left the hospital down there a month later, man. And I wasn't obedient because I wasn't doing that. It hurted my lungs so bad. You had to blow this thing like, and you had to hit these numbers and keep it there. And they was like, well, your friend Mert, somebody had told me like Mert had got killed like a long time ago before that. And he had got shot. I thought he died from the bullet wound, but somebody told me he died of pneumonia or staph infection in the hospital. Like, these hospitals are nasty. I don't know how true it is about Mert, but that's what they told me. And so I just didn't want to get pneumonia or staph infection. So I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out this hospital. I gotta get. I pressed them to let me out that motherfucker earlier, and so I start hitting the numbers and shit. I started getting on my bed, walking, and all kind of stuff. Everything irritated me though, and so only thing I could watch on TV was Seinfeld and Friends. I couldn't watch sport. I could watch Bruce Lee movies at night. And you know, in the hospital, if you stay at night, you're not getting no sleep because they come and getting blood every hour. And so it was just hell. It was just a bad experience in the hospital. But I had to spend more time talking about the hospital than actually stabbing. But that's what happened the night I got stabbed. For real.